Good evening. We are live. Today, we are doing session two of one of our very first campaigns together. The very first campaign that I have run so far. Our band of adventurers have landed on a uh, island that they suspect has some sort of treasure on it. Understanding that the Captain Cohog usually has two separate places. One is a complete trap. One is the key to actually gaining his wealth. They have chosen to go right. So let us see today whether or not they have chosen wisely. They ended up running into some pirates um, and essentially just killed all of them. Freed a I guess wild dragonborn. So weird to call dragonborn wild, knowing that they're a playable race. Anyway, um, and so yeah, as of right now, they are sitting around a campfire. They took a little bit of a short rest as all of a sudden a noise started to come up from the cave entrance that they were at. Um, so before we actually jump right back in, I'll give my players a chance to introduce themselves, plug anything that they want, or say anything about their character that they want everybody to know. So we'll start off from my left. So Damien, if you would care to.
Hello, I'm Damien. I'm playing a elf bard, and his name's Day, or some people call him Deo.
Awesome. Josh, the other Josh.
Yeah, the other one, right? My name is Josh. I run the YouTube channel Roll the Bones. Tonight I'm going to be playing Safi Moro, the Tiefling Druid, Circle of the Land, Arctic environment. She is a bit of an adventurer, had a fling, but rather than being tied down, got a job on a ship and set sail. And here we are.
Awesome. Next up, we have Jaren.
Hey guys, it's Jim in D&D from Power Up Gamers, and tonight I'll be playing like a druid, Robert Glitter Jim, and hopefully figuring out what vibes I think he saw aboard the ship.
Yeah, that will be an interesting experience when it does end up coming up in game. And last but not least, Fiven or Jordan.
I'm Jordan. I run the channel Tabletop Dads. I am playing Fiv Anselm. He's a half-elven wizard. He is 20 years old. He's young, strong-willed, hard-headed, very boisterous and arrogant. He's pretty much just trying to figure out why his adopted mom disappeared. Half-elves can't reproduce in this world, so his real parents got rid of him, and he doesn't know who they are. But yeah, his mom disappeared. He's trying to find stuff out, so he went on this journey to see if he could discover some things. And ended up with these fools on an island searching for pirate treasure.
All right, so we shall begin. As you guys sit around this fire, the heat, for those of you in armor, is starting to heat up the metal. It hasn't gotten to the point where it's overbearing. It's kind of nice. You can feel the heat just radiating off of this fire. The noises from the woods are rather calming. The birds are chirping. Everything around you seems utterly peaceful. When all of a sudden the sun begins to set. And as the sun sets, your shadows begin to grow longer and longer, as they always have in the past. But this time was a little different. This time you notice that all the shadows begin to collide into one another. grabbing one of your very colleagues and sucking him into the black nothingness of darkness. Because of the fact, does anybody remember his name? I forget his character's name now.
Tordek.
Oh yeah, sucking Tordek into the nothingness of the ground before your very eyes. You guys have one round if you want to try to save him, or not. He'll be sucked into the nothingness.
That's very reassuring. I think Fib would just look over. He didn't really get too attached to Tordek. So you just kind of look over and be like, that's, like, out loud, just, that's unfortunate. We should probably move.
And from Tordek, he starts yelling out at all of you, really, after everything, I saved you from that hole, yada, 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 you know, as the darkness begins to crawl through his face, down, and the blackness just consuming the inner parts of his mouth until the shadows completely disappear as night completely falls. And as the night falls, you notice out of the corner of your eye light coming from the cave as you hear someone screaming.
It's a great shame that we lost our friend, but I think we might have a chance to save another life as I start walking towards the cave.
I agree. We must go. Safi stands up from her kind of Indian-style posture and dusts herself off.
I suppose. And then Fib, like, looked to himself for a minute, think he said, like, he just had an idea. Crap. Tordek had that map. And just looked so, like, upset that that's kind of the reason they were here and how they were going to find everything. But, all right, well, press on. Let's go save the screamer.
Wobbles would just get up and right as he passes his fifth go, just mutters to himself, one down, one step closer to being reunited with my hub spin.
People just look down at him with, like, wide-eyed and stop and then wait for Safi to walk up next and be like, I'm gonna walk with you. You want to talk for a while? Let's just talk for a while.
Yes, let's get inside. I don't think that we're safe out here, but I also don't think we're safe in there. It's better to get out of the shadow.
We're not safe. No, not with him. And he points up to, like, Wobbles. He's like, you don't know what? Never mind.
Safi would lean in, kind of. I imagine you guys are walking side by side. She kind of lean over. There are 3 of us and only one of him. I don't think it would be too hard to take him. Keep your eye on him, but I don't think it would cause any trouble.
I agree. Don't worry about Wobbles. He's perfectly fine.
And Phil will go, like, wants to say something, and then just stop himself. Be like, you're right.
So as you guys kind of get up and you know, have your skepticisms about each other, as you guys begin to walk into this cave from where the screaming was, all the walls are covered in scratches of different sizes, different textures. You can still see parts of the actual nails that have gotten stuck in the walls. Some of the walls are covered in blood. And as you guys walk in, it's this long hallway. Torches every 5-6 feet. You notice to the right, small little boy on his knees, hunched over what appears to be some sort of male humanoid person. You begin to hear the sounds of sniffles as you'd kind of notice a drop of some sort of liquid hitting the floor as it absorbs into the stone below.
Hey,
Fiddle.
Wobbles. You're good with kids. You wanna talk to them?
Oh, God.
Good with
Wow.
kids, you say? I haven't been around kids in over a century.
Hey, you did all right with me.
Well, yeah, you were always an odd one. And he would look over at the child and just kind of step like halfway forward. You lad, what's wrong? How did you come to be here?
And he's not responsive. He's not moving. You just hear the crying. And it doesn't seem to stop. It's almost as if he's stuck in that single moment.
Well, he's got to know what's going on. Let's just go see what's going on. Fib will just walk up and just like tap him on the shoulder and be like, hey, why are you crying?
Make me a reflex saving throw.
Like a dex save?
Yeah.
Reflex. Something I haven't heard since like Pathfinder. 15.
All right. As you begin to touch his shoulder, he turns around very quickly, and you're able to grab your hand back before you see the blood covering the entire bottom of his teeth, or of his face. His teeth are whiter than you have ever seen. But somehow his hands and his face, now that you're so close, you can see that he's just completely covered in blood.
Bill will be like, I just jump back and be like, is that yours? Is that your blood?
And he just looks up to you as he stands up rather slowly. He starts to walk towards you, almost heel toe, wobbling side to side.
And Fib will just have his quarter step out and like using it like a 10-foot pole and like poking him in the chest to try and get him to like backtrack and keep his distance. As he like looks over his shoulder, like, guys, this isn't right, guys.
Safi goes into her component pouch and pulls out the components for a spell. She holds them in her hand and just kind of watches for the next move.
Everyone roll for initiative.
So that's how this night's gonna go.
I mean, at least it's initiative.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we all know who's going last. And the bad thing is he's the one that was right up there with the fifth.
Sound of that wormwood, man.
Jaren. This boy still walking towards you, Fiven, looks to you as his mouth begins to open. And you can distinguish these words. You have failed me. As he claws once at you, Jaren, and once at you, Fiven. All right. Plan is about 6. So I'm assuming 19 hits you, right, Jaren?
Oh, yeah.
You take 7 points of bludgeoning damage as this hand comes up and slices right through your chest. And let's see, does he hit you, Fiven? 16, Fiven?
Oh yeah, that'll hit.
Oh, God. Fiven, you take 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh my god. I only had 12 to begin with.
So, Damien,
All
you're
right.
up.
I'll take a step closer to Wobbles and thrust my rapier into the kid.
All right, go ahead and roll your attack.
All right. 13 to hit.
Who barely missed. So as you begin to parry your rapier into this small boy, it almost looks as if he phase shifts back. So that way, as the blade comes, it just slides straight across him.
Alrighty. Can't really do anything else.
This is fun.
Josh?
Okay, so where did it hit Fiv?
At 10 points of damage, where do you want it to hit you, Fiven?
He literally just like it's a human, right? Like humanoid.
Mm-hmm.
So it has like 4 claw marks that's just ripping through skin and robe and everything right across the chest, just like gushing blood. I don't look good. I look like I'm about to die.
Safi runs over. The components that she had in her left hand, she just kind of makes a room between it and you, and she just sprinkles some components on your wound and whispers, Namiris Wulnura, casting Healing Word, level 1 on Vivian.
Awesome.
Let's see. Oh, you lucky duckling. It's 9 hit points restored.
So
yeah, Fiv will
almost
just kind of sneeze as you sprinkle. You sprinkle all the stuff and feels like, what's it?
Yeah, it's like herbs
Oh,
and
I feel
spices.
better. Thank you.
and at healing that high, I would even say that the wounds almost, I mean, it's scars, but it looks like they almost instantly close. Fiven.
Viv is going to take a step back, like still facing it, but taking a step back, and he's going to take out his wand and just start at his head and just start dragging it down. This little like light starts forming up here and dim going around his outline. And I'm gonna cast Mage Armor on myself.
Probably would have been a smart idea to do before you went in.
Shut up.
Now's a good time for this.
Yeah. And then I'll probably back up as far as I can, which will be 30 feet.
So the hallway is probably 40 feet long. So you can probably push from probably about 10 to 15, but not
Okay,
30.
that works. That works. How far back can you get from this boy demon?
Okay. So then, okay. Is there like a roll for that? Or does he just.
No, I just move. It's just my. Because I didn't use my movement.
Oh, okay. I mean, then you could probably go 25 feet if you go towards the opposite end of the hallway.
Yeah, whatever's the farthest away from spawn of Satan over there.
You
Ripping
want
my
to touch?
robes.
You want to touch random things and random people.
I like touching little boys.
Thought that was Wobble's job.
He's good with kids.
He is good with kids. That's what I was thinking when he said that. I'm like, this is getting really Bill Cosby-ish here.
Let's not bring up politics. Let's continue. All right, so then all you're doing is moving away?
Yeah.
All
Like
right.
backing away. Not running, but backing away.
All right, and Jaren.
I imagine you actually would see his robes being tattered and his body scarred and almost mangled, or with these fresh cuts. And he just starts to back up following the group and says, as quietly, I have not failed yet. I still seek. After all, there was no timeline.
But I can read your thoughts. I can see the thoughts within.
But now, my thought is whatever reunites me with that I lost. If another has to take my place and others to take his, so be it.
And as you say that, he walks into the wall, disappearing. You guys are now out of your first combat.
What the hell was that?
I cast whole person on Wobbles.
He just kind of chuckles, says, as it was a deal I made a very long time ago. Come back to haunt me.
Have you led us all here to our deaths?
No, you lot were not supposed to be involved. But obviously, he's growing impatient.
All right, Wobbles. Does this trying to get this memory out of my head? Does this have anything to do with what happened on the ship? You know what I mean? Does it have anything to do with what happened on the ship?
He just looks at you as that depends on how much you saw. But yes, that was the creature from the effigy.
Oh God, I hope I never meet that thing in real life.
All right, so essentially, you guys saw that. You still got a dead body on the floor. So this hallway is about 40 feet long. You can tell that there's 4 different bends, but one of the bends, especially with where the little boy was, you can see one pathway has had like some sort of cave in, but there's some sort of like wooden door underneath the cave, underneath the rocks that are on top of it. But there are 3 other ways to go.
Fib will look to the way that has the cave in the door and like trying to act like he just discovered something that's completely obvious. Like, well, it looks like there's something this way. There's a door. We should probably go that way.
Safi just shoots the dirtiest look at Wobbles. She has her hand clutched like this. I'm watching you, Gnome. And she drops a little bit of herb and dirt, and the holder moves.
I can tell you from experience, you don't want to watch him.
Bubbles would just is nodding, almost as if he expected the reactions, and then just looks up and says, "If any of you breathe a word about this scars, so help me a I will utterly forgo my self-restraint. After all, my mace does grow hungry time to time." And he kind of chuckles.
On that note, we should probably find which way we want to go.
Yeah, yeah.
I still vote that the way of the cave in, because
I think you have it,
looks
kid.
important.
I think you have it. Let's go your direction.
All right, yeah. I mean, from what I've studied and everything I've looked up and how I know how to like find paths and like all the airflow, and he just like starts spouting all this like BS that he.
Yes, I know your book. Not you're good at reading books. I can tell.
I mean, I assume I got it from my father. He was an elf. I mean, they're smart.
Yeah, we are.
But yeah, let's go that way. This looks like fun. Oh, we should probably check the body too.
Yes.
So you're looting the body?
I'll loot it. Yeah, I'm not gonna check who it is. I'll straight up loot it.
I'll just watch over your shoulder.
I guess I'll kind of look for an identifying mark of it too. But...
All right. You only find one thing, and it's half a key.
I'll hold it up real quick and be like, I found half a key.
And where's the other half?
Well, if I knew that, we'd have a whole key.
I don't know. You might want to have Wobbles look in places that you guys are not okay with checking.
I just got that.
All right. So essentially, which way are you going? One way is caved in, so realistically, you can't walk through it. You'd have to sit there and try to lift out the rocks.
There's one that had a door, right?
Yeah. So there's the doors on the floor, and they caved in over the door opening, blocking it.
I'll still go look at the door and see if it has a keyhole.
I was gonna say you might find your other half of the key over there.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the door and see if maybe the other half of the key is broken off inside the lock. If I can see that part of the door.
Do an investigation, I guess.
I'm good at those.
So you said last time, but it didn't
Shut up.
for you.
14.
All right, so you're able to get the positioning right where you can kind of see inside. You can see like something's in there, but you can't necessarily tell if it's the actual rest of the key or if it's just something jammed in.
How big is the opening?
Like a normal skeleton keyhole.
No, like is it so the way the caves are like I can see the entire door, it's just blocked by.
Yeah, so essentially like it's like a normal like house doorway. Like it's actually been like excavated out or like architecturally done where all the edges are actually smooth. Where you can walk through, but it caved in, so you can't actually move through it.
I'll look over to Wobbles and be like, Wobbles, you're used to squeezing into tight places. See if you can get whatever's in there out.
Always making me work. You know us gnomes aren't built for manual labor.
Not the kind of manual labor you're used to, no.
But I might be able to get through.
All right. Well, what you're looking for is a key. It'll look like the other half of this. And he holds up the half of the key he has.
He
All right.
wobbles kind of nods, goes, "Are you sure that's the right key?"
Well, I don't know. I don't have the other half. That's why you need to see what's in there.
Hey. And he'll wild shape into a small spider and try to scurry down to see if he can get round this door.
Ah, spider, step on it. Okay. All right.
If I didn't see him change into it, that's exactly what I would have done.
All right. So then you're able to crawl into the hole. You see some sort of metal, but it's really too dark to really tell what it is. I'll need strength check if you want to try to lift it out, or if you have some other idea in mind that you want to try. I'm happy to hear it. Did you guys hear me?
Yes,
Yeah, I
but
think
I
he's
don't
fine.
want to act right now with the spider in the keyhole.
Yeah. I just want to make sure that I was heard because Jaren didn't respond as to
No,
what he
I
wanted.
think
Yeah, I was just looking over what I could do real quick.
Got to look at his spider strength score.
Yeah, I imagine I would be spinning some web to this metal thing and trying to remove it.
All right, so give me a DC 13 strength.
Would he still be able to hear us while he's in the hole in spider form?
Hey, not bad. Even with a negative one mod, I still get an 18.
Awesome. I'm pretty sure, I mean, realistically, if you guys walked up to the hole or just talked normally, depending on, like, I'm not sure how shape-shifting works, if hearing gets worse or better.
Well, I don't know how spiders hear, so. I
Do
don't know.
spiders actually have ears to, like, hear things?
Let's not get that philosophical, all right?
I actually, if I remember right, they hear by the vibrations on the webs.
Okay.
So then they don't have ears, per se.
Yeah, it would be more like a tremor sense.
Then I'll say it's acting in conjunction with what he's doing inside the keyhole. I'm going to walk over to the other two and like kind of shoulder them away from the door a little bit and just kind of whisper and be like, this is okay. I mean, that thing with Wobbles back there, that was kind of weird. Like, it's like Like, what was he talking about? Like some deal with some not time. I don't. What was that about? Saf, you know about this stuff. What was that about?
Hmm. It seems he has made a bond in which he broke, or so the demon thinks. He has not fulfilled his pact, and he he said that we weren't supposed to be here with him, but I don't know how much of that I believe. It's definitely worrisome, that's for sure.
Deo, what do you think?
I think Wobbles is Wobbles. He's a whole mystery, even when I was being raised.
All right, and I'm not meaning any offense to your raised family here, but I'm gonna let you guys in on something. So, back in the ship, it's probably a few days before we even got here. I went to check to see where that map went because Tordek said he set it down and Wobbles might have had it, so I went and checked. When I walked into the room, Wobbles it had an effigy. It was big, it was tall, it looked like a demon, and it had his mace attached to it. You know, in places you don't want to see effigies having attachments, and he was writing a letter in blood, covered in all these scars, writing a letter in blood at his desk. And I don't know if he saw me. I closed the door before anything happened, but it kind of freaked me out a little bit. And then he said all that stuff, and it's just making me kind of worry about him a little bit. I don't know if it was his blood that he was writing in, but still, it's blood.
I've only had this sort of feeling once, and I believe you were all present for that.
We definitely need to keep a close eye on him.
I agree.
And I'll kind of look back and be like, shh, I think he's coming. And I'll go back and act like I was standing there watching him do the keyhole thing the whole time.
So as you kind of walk back, you begin to hear like the pitter patter of maybe not as heavy as like footsteps, but like some sort of like, I guess maybe animalistic kind of like pitter patter as their paws like hit the floor, kind of crawling along the walls. You can't really figure out what exactly it is yet, but you begin to kind of see like shadows in the corners of your eyes. And every time you look, there's nothing there.
You said this room was torchlit?
Yes. So there's torches about every 6 feet. The back wall, essentially where you came in, is the only door on the back wall. It's a long straight wall, at which point it curves in on either side, and then there's two doorways, kind of more centered, one on the left and one on the right. But the one on the right is the one that's caved in.
Okay. Is it coming from like higher than the range of the torches, essentially? Like kind of up on the roof?
Kind of, yeah. It's enough where like it casts like that side shadow, where it's like the lighter shadow, but not a heavy shadow.
All right. We should probably get ready. I think something might be coming.
Of course, this island's been misery. All right, what's coming?
I don't know. I'm just hearing things. I haven't actually looked.
All right, well,
so then,
let's get ready.
So then, Jaren, you got an 18. So you're able to kind of start like come out of the hole, but I'll need one more strength check to actually be able to pull it out without breaking your.
Okay.
Okay.
A second one will be 14.
Okay. So you met the DC, so you were able to get the key out. Now, being in a spider and not necessarily being able to hear words, but because of the fact that they were walking, you would have felt the vibrations as if something was moving, but obviously you wouldn't know what really was going on.
Yeah, but I would assume as soon as I got to the floor with the key, I'd change back and pick it up and look around for the group.
So they're right there. Fiv, you walked right back to where the actual doorway is, where he was, right?
Yeah, I'm standing right there when he gets out.
So then he wild shapes back to normal, and he's holding something in his hand.
What is it? What did you find?
He says, hand me that other piece of the key.
No, you give me that piece of the key.
No. I have to be touching both of them in order to mend it.
Damn it, I don't know that magic. All right.
Yeah. And he'd open up his palm and show you the other piece in there.
Yeah, Fib doesn't know that magic, so he would just hand him the butt end of the key that he has.
And then he'd hold it together and cast mending it open. It forms a full key and then hands it to Fib. It says, you wanted the key, you got the key.
Okay, now, later. Something's coming, so get ready.
Now, I never said what the other half of the thing was.
Well, half of it's now a key.
Let me ask you this. Do you even look at it as he does it to know whether or not it's a key or not?
No, I wouldn't have looked at it until he handed it to me because he didn't show me what it was before I handed him my half.
So then as you grab it, it's half key, half tip of a sword. He mended together the butt of the key to the tip of a sword.
And I'll just kind of like look at it and like I'll poke myself on accident as I'm putting it away and be like, wait a minute, and pull it back out and look at it and be like, damn it, Wobbles, this is a sword.
Who knows? Maybe Wobbles can use it when he turns into a spider. Anyway.
Useless. And he attempts. He's not strong. He's going to attempt to try and break the sword part off of it again.
I mean, you can try.
Yeah, I'm not very strong, but I'll try.
I mean, it's a magical mending. So,
are those things closer or the noise?
You keep hearing it, but nothing has shown up yet. If
I'll put it back and look at the group and be like, all right, maybe we should just get out of here. Not worry about the key. We'll go a different direction.
I agree.
Robert's nod says, yes, if the creature is angry at me, it's best not to linger too long. Besides, it messed up my clothing. And we all know how I feel about these fine clothes.
He'll roll his eyes, look over at Seth and be like, all right, this didn't pan out, so you pick a direction.
I think there's only one more direction to go.
There's technically 3. There's far left, center left, and then far right.
Oh, okay. I was under the impression that there were 2 doors and then the door we came in through. Should just make our way over to the center door. No use in guessing.
Lead the way.
Let us get this over with.
Sounds good with me. I mean, there's no real... I mean, unless we all want to go one path each. But I'd rather not separate.
Split the party 3 ways.
Sure, that'll go well.
It always does.
All right, so tell me what you're doing, and I'll roll with it.
He'll pick his walking stick, grip it a little tighter, and just be like, all right, let's go.
So then center left, or far right?
Yeah, I walked to the center left door and inspect it.
All right. So as you walk to this center left door, it's made of wood with metal plating that runs along the horizon of the door on both the top and the bottom. But for whatever reason, it's made of wood in the middle. The doorknob itself is almost crunched together. But, you guys can try to open it.
Viv will walk up and attempt to kick the door in, and it will fail. I'm not trying to succeed at it at all. But he's still going to walk up and like he's got this and try and kick the door in.
All right, so you just want to do that as an RP thing?
Yeah, I think I'll do
actually
that.
want to try to, knowing that he would fail and see if he would actually succeed kind of thing.
Yeah, that'll make for better RP. Let's do it that way. All right, let's go for my strength. So I got a 9.
All right, yeah, so definitely as you kind of try to break this door, and I almost assume that, when you tried to kick it open or whatever, your foot just came short of the actual door itself. You just touched the door.
Yeah. He was flipping through his book and looking, and if anyone looked at his book, they would see a diagram of the door and all these little notes trying to dictate weak points and strong points in the frame. And he was flip through it real quick and just kind of flip back. All right. Whew, I can do this. He would start to run up, and as he would kick his foot out, he would realize he came up short, but the force carrying him forward would just put him right on his ass without him even getting close to the door. He just whipped it hard.
So how's that book treating you?
And I would turn back and just smack him with the book. Be like, fine.
Safi offers a hand to help you out.
Thank you. No offense, Steve. I've never met one of you before. Well, once. But can't you use a battering ram?
I don't think that's how it works. I will forgive your ignorance, but this time I try the doorknob. Is it going or no? Oh no! Did we just lose? Oh god!
Oh no!
We stood up.
We scared the GM.
I tried to work in my subtle D&D racism. Where'd he go? Yeah, I honestly don't know what I saw, but that was me trying to describe it as someone who was scared about what they just saw.
Yeah, I understand.
Completely none. Oh, he's back.
All right, I had to lower my bandwidth. All right. Anyway, but yeah, the doorknob works.
She turns it, and then she just kind of gives Fib a look.
Fib will nervously look back at his book and be like, yeah, just making notes on the door picture, pretending to make notes on the door picture. All right, let's go.
Hopefully it's not a trap or anything.
So as you walk through the doorway, you guys are walking for about 30, 40 feet. When it opens up into this large, when I say large, I mean large round room, somehow perfectly shaped in a circle. Blood covering all of the walls in different spots, splattered. Shackles on the floors along all of the walls, and you see the like arm shackles at different height variations. In the center of the room, there's this big round hole with bars that go, like rounded bars that go locking whatever, almost like a sewer drain. So yeah, that's what you guys are seeing so far.
Yeah.
We had to choose the room with blood. Can't it be something normal?
You say that, but the doorknob worked.
It did.
And if it was looking and be like, shit.
So as you guys walk in, you guys begin to hear this voice in your head. Let me out. Let me out. I can help you.
Did you guys hear that?
Safi gives a look. Everybody, or just you and I? Day wobbles.
Wobbles just nonsense.
I nod as well.
I don't know that voice.
Can I look down the drain hole, essentially?
Yeah, you can. You can give me. It's dark, so would that be perception or investigation? Probably perception, right? To see if you can see through the
Perception is investigation is usually if you're looking for something specific.
Yeah, so give me a perception check. See if you can tell what's in.
Let's see here. Oh, big druid wisdom. That's a 17.
So you begin to see almost these tubes wrapping all over each other in a bunch of different squiggles and designs. There's... Tell me, has Saft ever killed anyone?
Safi's killed many people. Not I mean, not. She's not like a mass murderer, but I'm sure she's killed before. She killed someone earlier on the island.
That's also true. It would almost look like a human brain, but obviously bigger.
There's a big brain down there in the hole.
Some sort of big brain.
Yeah.
People call out to Sam and be like, "What? What is it?"
I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. It looks like a human brain, but very, very big. Big enough to almost fill up the space. This is strange.
Now, did we hear the voice audibly, or was it in our head?
No, it was in your... Well, I mean, would you be able to actually distinguish whether or not it was in your head or verbal?
I feel like you would.
I'm pretty sure Safi and me could use a message back and forth like we have.
Yeah, so I suppose you would be able to tell that it's in your head.
Could I roll a history to figure out what he's talking about? Maybe I've read it somewhere before, or
What do you mean what he's talking about? Like what
the brain. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
I think Fib would do the same, flipping through his book to see if there's any descriptions or anything he's noted in his journeys.
That'd be a
Alright.
17 for me.
You can take advantage if you would like to see seeing as so that way not everyone's rolling the same thing.
Oh, well, I got a modified 20.
Okay. All right, so you guys would be able to. You wouldn't know exactly how would I put this? You wouldn't know exactly what it is, but you would know the tales of it. They have a very long history in Tiira. Some say that they were the first beings to actually ever be in the world. They have adapted, mutated, and all in all changed over the years. So it's hard to find two that look the exact same. They have long since been forgotten, but you can remember the tales of them, those that have been cursed to do good or to search for justice amongst evil. Or at least so the rumor goes.
And we both know this from what we've looked up.
Yes.
Okay. So I think I would at that moment, like flipping through the book, I would get to a page and just stop and look wide-eyed, and then look over at Deo. Like we both instantly knew at the same moment what it was, and look over at Seth and be like, "Just back up. Don't go too close to it."
Do you leave it, or are you going to try and help it? And as you guys kind of realize what it is, you hear in your guys' heads, yes, that is me. But I am so much more. You see, I can see your deepest and darkest desires, and I can see the way to make them fulfilled.
Always trying to make the best of a bad situation and trying to lighten the mood. As soon as he says that, I know your deepest dark secrets and make them come true. They will look over at Wobbins and be like, "You should probably leave."
Wobble just chuckles, looks at Deo and nods and starts to head back the way they came. Almost as if maybe he should stay then and kind of know this family here.
And as he begins to back up, you begin to hear the claw marks as the claw marks like digging their way into stone. Louder and louder.
Might want to hurry it up if we're going to leave this room as I slowly back away quicker and quicker.
Yeah, I moved back.
Yeah. Fit would start to, and then all of a sudden his yearn for knowledge would kind of overtake him. He'd be like, "Just hold on a second." He would walk back over to that center well and kind of stand on the edge and look down into this, because you said it was barred on top like a cage, right?
Mm-hmm.
You'd look down and be like, "Why are you in here?"
The same reason as you.
No, not the cave, the cage. Why are you in the cage?
No, there is no cage. And as he says that, only Fiven, this is only for you. The actual hole, there is no cage on top, locking it. The room itself becomes perfectly round. The doorway where you guys came in, you can no longer see it.
People kind of look down and like look around as it's stabbing and look back at the door. And then like assuming everyone else is giving him like a disapproving stare, be like, oh, sorry. And kind of jump down and like move back a little bit.
You had to talk to it.
It bugged me. No one really knows about these things. How cool would it be to be the first person to really know these things?
Mind you, you're the only one that's able to see that the cage is gone.
Oh, in that case, so yeah, okay. Retcon. Would jump down. Everyone else saw like the door disappear though, right?
Again, this is only you.
I'll kind of jump down, like look wide-eyed, then and look around, and be like, okay, guys, everybody get ready. The cage is gone. The cage is gone. The door's gone. Everything's gone. What do we do?
And as you say, everything is gone. Your friends disappear out of your vision.
Oh my God, everyone's gone. Don't panic. I know what to do. He starts flipping through his book. I know what to do.
The footsteps get louder and louder as you see these beasts' feet claw up this thing. Its arms are what you would call arms. Almost look to have been sewn into this big brain. They're all different shapes and sizes. One would look almost as if it was a ginormous dragon's, like the young dragon's paw, like legs, and then the other one looks like a manicore's, and one looks like a Yanti as it begins to slither back and forth, as it begins to come up. Blood covering this big brain. You have one thing to do before something may happen.
All right, he's almost pale with this because like he knows that he's the only person standing this way. He's never killed anything in his life. I mean, maybe like a bug or hunting, but he's never killed anybody or sentient. And he's looking at this thing like pale, looking around like, guys, oh my God. And he like flips through his book, looks for a minute, and goes, okay. He takes out a flint and starts like tipping it on the end of his wand, trying to ignite it. And you see this little flame pop up. And he holds it with both hands and like braces himself and points the wand straight. And I'm going to cast Agonzar's Scorcher at the creature.
And I'm going to stop you right there and go back to the other three. Now, the other three of you would still be able to see him. He's essentially doing all of this. It almost looks as if he's having a major panic attack, just lighting his wand on fire and running around with looking for a door that's there, but he's for whatever reason can't see it. Just completely freaking out right before your eyes.
Should we just leave him here until he works it out, or?
And he still hear us, or is he just not hearing anything anymore other than what's there?
He's only hearing what's there, or what's blocked in his mind.
Okay.
I suppose you can try to break him out of it, but I don't know how well that would work.
Let me see. I don't think I have anything for that.
I mean, Jaren could maybe engorge him.
Yeah, there you go. No, we'll just turn to Day, and I'm not leaving him, and neither should you.
I wasn't saying leaving him. I could say sit in the room until he tiring himself out.
Wobbles would look and goes, I remember when I was a relapse, had having a panic attack. My mother slapped me, and it brought me out of it. But I don't think I would take too kindly to me slapping him right now.
Oh, I can do that. No problem.
All right, so you're gonna try to slap Fiven.
Yep.
It's either Deo or Fiven. Give me a percentage dice. Or both, and I'll take the higher.
I was gonna say I don't know how to choose who should do that.
All right. I got 13.
On a percentage dice?
That's all right. 31.
Oh, like a flat percentage dice, no percentage.
Yeah,
of
no.
D10?
No, just percentage dice.
60.
All right. So then we're coming back to you, Fiven. As this thing shoots out, what is it? Just the spell? Are you doing damage? What's going on?
Yeah, it's Agazar Scorcher. This, like, I've never used it before. Fiven's never used it, so he doesn't really know what's going to happen. But all of a sudden, this like flame would shoot out from his wand and grow to a column of 5 feet wide, 30 feet long of fire, just roaring down at the creature, and it has to make a Dex saving throw. 14 is the spell save.
12 plus 2. It makes it 14.
Crap. Okay. Then he will take. No, one of my dice got stuck in my tower. There it is. 4 damage. 4 fire damage.
So I almost imagine, especially seeing as this essentially is a hallucination, the fire, he doesn't even move. It's almost as the fire wraps around him, like moves around him, and he just stands there and stares. But with your fire, and I almost imagine as the fire is happening is when you get slapped by Deo. You can start to see, like, one eye, you still sees the hallucination, and one eye sees reality. You're now able to see your friends, or your so-called friends, out of only one eye. But this beast is still stuck in the other.
Are you quite done, my friend?
Bill will be breathing heavy and be like, you guys, I don't.
I'll slap him again.
Go ahead and roll one. Give me. Oh my goodness. Okay. Give me a D20 and a percentage.
Both of us?
No, just Deo, seeing as he wants to hit you again.
All right, on my D20, I got a 6, and my percentage is 30.
All right. So I had said odds it hits, or at least the 30% takes effect as you whack him against wherever you hit him. It almost causes him to lose his sanity even more. Now you're still able to see, but it's almost as if have you ever seen, like, I'm trying to figure out, like, they're almost see-through. They're almost translucent. Your friends.
Oh, okay. I'll still look over and be like, stop hitting me. Listen, I can barely see you out of this eye. He points to his left eye. Out of this eye. Well, what happened is I stepped in the cage and I talked to the thing. You guys saw that, right?
I think so, yeah.
It spoke to me, and then all of a sudden the cage was gone, and you guys were gone, and the door was gone, and it came out, and I attacked it, and then I assume you slapped me, and now I can kind of see you out of one eye, and I still see it out of the other eye. I don't know what to do. This is really freaking me out. You guys should attack it.
There's nothing for us to attack.
Just then attack right in front of the hole, like 20 feet that way, and he kind of points to directly where the creature is to try and get them to like go that direction.
How about
How
this?
convinced are you guys are of this?
How about this? I guess drag you to the door.
But it is here. I don't think you get it. It's here. The creature is in the room. But so are you, but I can't see you. You're not really there. You're critical. It's like a ghost. You're like a ghost. But I can only see you out of my left eye. Does this make sense?
Kind of. Maybe. Sound like a madman.
All right. Just pull me to the door. Pull me to wherever the door is.
I'll pull him to the door.
And it's almost as if the beast doesn't move, but stays at the exact same distance in your eye.
Oh, it's following me. It's following me. Hurry up.
You're perfectly fine.
No, I'm not. It's big. It's a brain with arms that are different arms, and it pull me faster.
All right. I guess start pulling him faster.
So you reach the door, or the direction of which the door should be, and all of a sudden, you all are trapped. You walked in to a perfectly round, moving room without knowing. So essentially, what's happening is the room itself is moving so slow that you guys don't notice it, but the room has closed itself. You are now trapped in this room. And as you get to where the door should have been, you begin to hear tiss, tiss, tiss. And all of you guys hear the thumping on the ground. And you would see holes forming into the ground as these nails start to dig. And in front of all of you, we'll do this. Dale, what's your biggest desire in life?
To come back victorious to my family, knowing that I can do things on my own without having to rely on my family for money or advice.
So, Deo, you see a parade in your honor. Your family lined in the streets, banners in your name. Saft, what is your biggest desire?
To become one with nature.
I see you guys like testing me. Okay. You see yourself in this meadow. Almost in a valley, the mountains surrounding you. You are secluded. In front of you forms the outlining of nature, the nature goddess herself, as she welcomes you in as one of hers. Jaren, your biggest desire?
to be free of the pact I made and have my husband back.
So, Jaren, you guys are in the middle of the ocean on a ship. The waves rather docile, but you can hear the occasional seagulls as they fly through. You're sailing into the sunset, and as you look to the right, there's a jug of mead. And pouring that mead is your husband. And Fiven, yours is oh so clear, the pursuit of knowledge. To be one who is known for the things that he can do. To be accepted back. Am I hitting some sort of a ballpark?
Yeah, he pretty much wants to learn everything he can because then maybe he can figure out why his mom disappeared. So he wants to become the smartest person ever. So he has all the answers.
You're in your study. This big triangular room. Books lining the walls. There's a fireplace in the center, almost like a bonfire pit. And sitting down with their back towards you is a female figure. You can only see the outlining, but you get the warm sensation of your mother. Now, all of that is now ripped away from you. As you begin to see the beast in front of your very eyes. I can help you all. There is no need to harm me. You just must accept me.
Fib will look around and be like, please tell me you guys see it now.
Yeah, I see something.
Do they see the same thing that I saw, like the brain with the arms?
Yes.
Like that. That is what I was fighting. That's what I was talking about.
So what do you need us to do again?
I don't know how to you guys, but I don't know what to do now. I thought I had to kill it, but it just showed me.
Oh, I was talking to the creature.
Oh. Fib looked down like, oh, all right.
All you need to do is accept me.
Accept you as...
And he'll just continue to say, all you need to do is accept me.
Because if it's a god, I already have a god. And she's wonderful.
I don't think that's what it means. You know, Dale, just as well as I do about these things. We need to almost become one with it.
Yeah, that's a problem. Because I need to do things and learn things, and being one with you is not going to help me.
It can teach you everything. It showed me what's going to happen, that I have my mother back, that I have all the knowledge in the world. It can give that to us.
At what price?
Can you set a price on all the knowledge in the world?
Yes, I can. I'd rather be me and achieve my own desires with my own hands than rather accepting help from a creature who can show you whatever it wants to show you.
It doesn't show you whatever it wants to show you. It shows you what your desires are. It shows you what you want to have.
Robert just kind of looks sad says, as some things are best left alone. Trust me, you do not want to enter a pact and then have it turn on you.
No one said we're entering a pact yet. But I'm curious at least. And I'll turn to the creature and be like, what does it cost to have this?
Acceptance. It does not matter the price. Once one is accepted, it isn't its man's favorite thing to sacrifice everything for what they think they want.
And when he says what they think they want, he'll ponder for a minute, Viv will. So what you showed me may not even be what I actually want.
Is it?
I thought it was, but then you said that.
Only you know you. And I need all of you to give me an intelligence saving throw.
$15.
That's a solid 6 for me.
Technical 20.
Oh, wow. Okay. So all of you, except for Deo, keeps the... You guys are able to kind of distinguish between the, I guess, hallucination in reality. But Deo, your hallucination becomes even more real, even more tantalizing. You're also going to take 5 points of psychic damage.
All right.
So now your hallucination is even more prevalent, pressing on your heart. It's tugging on every part of you, and it wants... Even your inner self seems to want it. Are you fighting yourself?
I am fighting myself. Because I believe that all the things I want can easily be attained by my own hands. And I can't accept help. I have to do this on my own, with my own hands.
All right. So the creature begins to become irate. Everyone roll for initiative.
Seriously, 3 11s?
We're all going to go at once. Team up to form a Megazord.
Granted, I still have to add my modifier, but my dice roll was an 11 as well. Just thought I'd point that out.
Wow.
These poop dice aren't working well.
All right, so I guess the monster goes first.
Yes, so.
Yeah, definitely would go before me since my dex mod's a +0.
So then it's going to run up to let me do a D4, seeing as there's 4 of you. That makes things easy. Fiven, you're the one who let me free. Yet you alone, knowing everything, still will not accept me. You still won't even go for the things you say you want. And he's going to claw at you. And I'm assuming that's a miss because it's an 8.
Yes, I still have mage armor, so anything less than a 15.
So then, how are we doing dex? What's everyone's dex mod?
I'm a +2.
Got a blessed flurry.
All right, so I guess Damien goes, Deo goes first.
Yep. Do I need a break out of? Is this like a charm spell, or is there anything I need to break out of, or can I just freely move?
I wouldn't say it's like a charm spell. You would be able to still move around and whatnot.
All right. Do I see any danger in my illusionary area?
What do you mean by danger? Like the actual beast, or
Yeah.
or you'd
Like,
still
is
be
it-
able to see the beast? Yeah.
Is it like right on my friends, or do I still see it over?
It's about 5 feet away from Fiven. The diameter of this room is about 50 feet. Because it's a round room, so it's hard to give a. But the diameter is about 50 feet.
All right. Then I'm just gonna point my rapier at it and yell, "You are nothing, and you're just a creature. You are nothing. You're below me," and cast vicious mockery.
Awesome.
It has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Alright, so it's. I'm pretty sure he fails. He has a 6.
Oh yeah, that fails. And it takes 1d4 psychic damage,
How ironic is that?
and that's 1 point of damage.
Oh, that's even more ironic. And Fiven, you did 4 points of damage earlier, right?
That's 4 fire damage.
Yeah, 4 fire.
And it also has disadvantage on this next attack.
All right. So then +2 initiative, which was Fiven.
Looking up at it and just angry that it didn't, like, it's going after him, and that showed him what he thought he wanted and then took it away. He just gets pissed and says, I will find my mother. I will know everything, and I don't need you to do it. And at this point, as he says, don't need you to do it, he's like dragging his wand up his throat to his mouth and just flinging it at the beast. And as he does it, the words, I don't need you, get louder and louder and louder until they just like erupt, shaking the whole room. He's going to cast Shatter.
Oh, Shatter is awesome.
He has to make a Constitution saving throw. And it's sculpted, so nobody else has to do it.
You guys picked a good set of dice for me to attack you guys with. What was it? Intelligence?
Constitution.
Or Constitution? 4.
Fail. All right. Some good rolls. 11 thunder damage.
11 thunder?
Yes.
Oh. All right. So, I mean, this thing was covered in blood, but you can definitely tell that it's not the same blood that was on it before. It looks like it's its own blood now. Damn. Okay. And Jaren.
I will actually just cast guidance on Safi.
All right, what does that do?
That is, give me just a second. It's a D4 to an ability check or saving throw.
Okay. So then you just have advantage on those things.
It's a D4 added on to it. And then I'd pull out my whip up and give it Eddie to go after the beast if it comes near me.
Awesome. Saft.
1 second, let me look at something. So Safi would take a couple of steps back and seeing everybody kind of lay into it. She just brings her staff to bear on the ground, and in her left hand, a bunch of ice starts to kind of crawl down from the shoulder into her hand, and she just flings an ice knife at the creature. Let's see. That's re-rolling to hit. 19 to hit.
That's definitely going to hit.
All right, let's see. Seven piercing damage, and after it hits or misses, the shard explodes. Then you need to make a dex save.
So describe how you kill it.
I like it better with the last part of the spell because as it kind of like plants itself right in the front of the monster and then just explodes into like a burst of ice. That's the second part of the spell.
Okay, awesome. So then as it bursts, I almost assumed that it like freezes the blood as it like blows up. So essentially all of you are gonna get 1 point of I guess what is it called? Oh my goodness.
You should probably make that save too. Viv said he was within 5 feet, so
Yeah, I was within 5 feet, so I probably have to make that save. What was it, a dex save?
yeah.
Crap. Oh, hot damn, I got 19.
Yeah, you beat him.
Just as just for flavor wise, you all get hit with some frozen blood. But now the real room begins to show. As the beast begins to die, the room becomes very dark. Just a very small fire. Almost burnt out, but still slightly going. There's a woman in shackles against the back wall.
Is the creature still in the room?
No, he blew it up. I mean, he technically in pieces scattered amongst the room, but
Okay. I'm going to be like, all right, go. Who can? Safi, you know medicine. Go see if she's okay. And I'm going to run over and try and find the decent-sized chunk of this brain and wrap it up in a piece of parchment and put it in my bag.
The hallucination stuff.
yeah, that's essentially how you're able to see the partially done fire in the woman in shackles against the wall.
Yeah, I would make my way over to the woman.
I would like to follow.
I'll follow after I pick up my piece of the brain creature.
All right. One piece of brain matter can be added to your inventory, I suppose. Although I will say that there is a 3-day time before it goes rotten.
Okay.
Gross.
So it's either you have to get it on, ice or something to preserve it.
But it exploded with ice, didn't it preserve itself? I'm just kidding.
Well,
Let's do it. Keep going.
I mean, I could freeze it. I have frostbite as a cantrip.
Oh, I
that's
do
also
too.
true.
That's right.
You could do that.
Yeah, I think I'll do that as I put it in my bag. I'll just kind of like tip it with my wand as this little blue steam comes off my wand onto it and be like, that should do. And I'll wrap it up in the parchment and then put it in my bag. And then I'll make my way over with the rest of them to the shackle lady.
As you walk up to the woman, her head is bent over. Almost, she's essentially not keeping herself standing. You can tell that if you were to undo the shackles, she'd fall to the floor. She doesn't seem to be very responsive, but she is still breathing. Barely, but breathing.
Taffy would look around. Can anyone take care of these shackles?
Viv will go up again and be like, I could probably take a crack at that. You'll see that same bluish, misty steam. And he'll cast Frostbite on both of the shackles and then smack them with his quarterstaff.
But before you do that, Taffy would walk up kind of to the woman, essentially go to both knees in front of her and just try to brace her so that when the shackles break, she kind of falls into Safi's shoulder.
Okay. So essentially, as the ice freezes and Fivin breaks the shackles, she falls. I hate to put it like this, but she's definitely heavier than what you thought she was. You can barely feel a pulse. Her skin is almost ice cold. Her skin itself is pale. Her hair long, wavy. Hints of red. But she smells like she hasn't bathed in quite some time.
What's her race?
I'll say elf.
So, with the woman kind of resting on Safi's shoulder, she would take the moment to expend another spell slot and cast Cure Wounds for 3 hit points.
She sighs and I almost imagine like her head kind of like snuggles against your neck a little bit. But she's still kind of not unconscious, but definitely knocked out. I guess still unconscious.
We need to be careful. We thought that boy was in distress too, and that didn't go well.
The boy was not bound.
What makes you think he wasn't bound on purpose?
I mean, if I was trying to lure people in, I'd bind myself too to make it look like I needed help.
I suppose you're right, but there's something inside of me. I can't let her be.
No, I'm not saying to leave her here or anything. Just keep a close eye.
How does an elf woman make it all the way out here? What brought her here?
She definitely does look bruised. I'll say that much.
Do you think she was a prisoner of those pirates outside the cave?
Robles just chuckles, says, no, no. Oh, the boy. He seeks a lady. That was what I was searching for. This appears to be one of his many failed attempts to find her.
What, you mean the thing at the front of the cave?
Yes.
He was looking for this woman.
No. Oh. Looking for the chosen woman. He tends to take many until he finds the proper one.
You know who that boy is, don't you?
He chuckles, says, and so do you. You saw the effigy.
The boy is the demon. That's the same guy.
In a manner of speaking, the same essence, if you will.
All right, so so the woman's fine. She's not one of them.
No. She may recover. It's tough to say exactly what happens. I've never stayed to watch. I may be twisted with my own desires, but that goes even beyond me.
I think we should take her with us and we should get out of here.
And what of the treasure, if there is anything here?
Look what just happened to us. Any pirates that came in here, simple-minded pirates, they're not going to stand up to that thing like we did.
And even if there is a treasure, who's to say if it hasn't been cursed being around things like this?
Who knows if the treasure's even physical? I consider knowledge treasure. I can't lock it in the chest and bury it. We don't know what's here, and I don't frankly think it's worth it.
So then are you really considering dropping your whole mission that you guys have all been searching for all this time?
What else is in the room? So she was shackled on one. Is it still like a round room?
Still a round room, but it's pretty much completely dark other than a minor fire that's pretty much almost completely out.
We need to know what she knows. I'm going to lay her down, and I'm going to pop the cork on my water thing, and just for flavor, I'm going to use shape water to pull the water out, almost like water bending, and kind of like sip it into her mouth a little bit. See if it helps her wake up. And
I'll allow that simply because I like Avatar. She
Okay.
begins to cough, and she's kind of coming to, but she doesn't seem to be in any real means to talk.
I'll relay to her in Elven and be like, "Are you all right? Can you hear me?"
She looks at you very slowly, and as her hand begins to go up, it almost touches your face as she falls, essentially back unconscious.
Do I recognize her? Is there any like discerning marks that would tell me who she is?
She's pretty much been beaten and bruised. Her entire face is pretty much like swollen. She pretty much has been tortured, used, and abused. So it's really hard to tell who she is. The only reason, really, that you guys can tell that she's even Elven is because of the ears.
I'll ask her in Elven again if I can try and get her to come to what her name is.
I want to have you roll for something, but I'm not sure what I want to have you roll for. Yeah, we'll leave it as a flavor thing because I can't remember what I wanted you to roll for anyway. So she kind of, as you talk to her in Elven, she's able to touch your face as she begins to shake. She begins to cross her arms and shiver. She's only able to get out one word. That word is going to be luck.
Luck?
Yes, luck. Or lucky.
Does anybody... I know obviously Dale does. Does everybody else speak Elven?
I don't.
Nope.
All right, so then me and Dale are the only ones who can understand her then. I'll look over at him and be like, what do you think that means? I'm still speaking in Elven, not thinking about transitioning back.
That she's lucky to have people find her, or lucky can mean a lot of things.
But it's so weird. She touched my face like that twice. It's not... The sensation was different. It was almost like I don't know.
Or she's still not completely understanding the situation she's in, and she needs time to heal.
She was cold. We need to get her closer to the fire.
I'll help you.
Yeah, Seppi would bring her closer to the fire. Is the fire still burning or is it burnt out?
It's by this time I'm pretty sure it's about to burn out. Like there's just like the hot coal, I guess, or the hot ash and a couple of sparks here and there, but it's pretty much completely out by now. And the room is pretty much going darker. Like the light is kind of caving in around this fire because that was the only thing lighting up any other room.
Did we see a doorway out while there was still light?
You saw something begin to form, yes, where you thought the doorway was.
Okay. I think we should get her out of this room.
All right.
Yep, and having dark vision, and I'd be looking at the walls and around, examining pretty much the whole room.
Yeah, I forgot I had dark vision.
Jaren, what languages do you speak? Only Common?
Common, Gnomish, and the Druidic can't.
So you see marked in the walls letters of Druidic cant mixed in with a little bit of Draconic as well.
I would motion into Sassy and point at the walls where I see the Druidic lettering. There's other markings there as well, but I don't know those.
What does the druidic say? Or is it like a mishmash?
Yeah, it's like a mishmash. Almost think of like Alien versus Predator when they're digging. Like it's like the first temple. It's like a mix of all the different languages.
Josh, do you speak Draconic?
No, I don't. I just speak the druidic.
I assume this is audible, like when Wobble says like there's writing up there.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
I'll walk up behind him, just staring at it. It's Draconic.
No, it is dark. Do you have dark vision?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just
Yeah,
making sure.
I'll look at it and be like, it's Draconic. I can tell you what the Draconic part means, but I don't know what the other part is.
Yes. Me and Safi can read the other part.
Well, maybe look over at Deo. Take care of her. I think we'll try and decipher this real quick.
All right. I'll pick
right.
her up, and I guess you want me to take her outside? I know that's the only campfire I know.
I feel like in this place you shouldn't stray too far, which I feel like would be common sense. Maybe try and get this one going again.
All right. I'll try to look around the room and see if I can find anything I can start a fire with.
Sure. We'll say there's some broken wood and dried up wood. Probably from like part of a door or some sort of like torture device. We'll say, just to not get descriptive.
And I imagine that I would pull out a piece of parchment and like look at the other two and we'd start conversing and like writing down the letters and translating them into common, like listening to them to tell me a druidic one, and I would translate the draconic one and get the words to mesh together.
So essentially, I'm going to say that it takes about 10-15 minutes, just given the fact that it's dark. And though you have dark vision, you know, maybe you have to squint every so while. It takes about 15 minutes to do so. It reads, "To those who seek the treasure, you must carry on. For only those who are of Cohog's thoughts may find Cohog's treasure."
I'll kind of look at him as I write the last bit of it down. Like, it's only those. Is it a riddle?
Not like any riddle I've ever heard. Sounds more like encouragement.
Safi, what is your take?
I don't see how a pirate captain would know how to read or write druidic or draconic.
It's true.
But in this cave, there is only one more door. Should we make it out the way we came? We can at least see what's going on in there.
You have one more unexplored passage. I suppose we should take it.
Oh.
What do we do about her? And he'll motion to the lady.
Well, we could wait for her to recover, but it might take some time. Especially if her mind and soul have been tampered with.
If only we had a ship and a crew we can just leave her with.
Well, there is a ship. It's just not ours.
Mind you, to get back to that ship would probably be at least a day's journey.
You said the second part that was only those of Cohog's thoughts can find Cohog's treasure.
Yes.
Oh.
You have 1 minute to figure out what you're doing, or bad things are going to start happening.
Swear to God, if another one of those rain creatures shows up, I quit.
I say for now we take her along. We'll head down another passageway. If you need me to, I can carry her.
Well,
maybe our best option.
What if me and Dale take her back to where the pirates' camp was, leave her there, and meet up with you guys at this doorway? It shouldn't take us too long to carry her out.
How is that better than just leaving her right here?
At least we could set a fire and keep her warm there.
And out there, she'd have places to run from things. If something should come after her.
Plus, we may not be very long.
We could leave her a note. She wakes up. Yeah, I think that's a logical thing to do. And Finn would pull out his quill, pull out his little ink pen, and start scribbling in Elven like a little note. Just says, "Stay here. We will be back." And there's something like I left food or something like that, all in Elven. And I'll leave her a little bag of our rations.
All right.
Just leave this with her. We'll wait for you guys here.
Hate to split up the party, but I think that's our best option at the moment, because I can't see carrying her throughout whatever's left of this treasure hunt.
I agree. I'd end up using her as a weapon, so.
Human shield.
More like a human flail. Just grab her by the ankles.
All right. So then I think this is a good as time as any to take a little bit of a break for those of you that have to take a break. And then we'll get back momentarily because
Awesome.
we've been playing for about 2 hours. So
Holy cow, really?
5 minutes or so.
Yeah, I'm not going to take a long one. I just want to get a cup of water and actually be able to.
I just need to go grab some more smokes real quick.
Yeah. So then we'll take a quick 5. We'll say it's 11:10 now. Be back at 11:15 and we'll get right back in.
Okay, I'm back.
What's up, Jaren?
Not too much. Got lucky my stepdad gave me some smokes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he was supposed to go pick me up some cigarette tubes. Oops, but he didn't make it out. So,
How you liking it so far?
and not too bad. Wobbles definitely got more complicated.
Oh yeah, that's what I aim to do. Complicate my players' lives. It makes for some good roleplay moments. It gives you guys struggles
Yes,
to
it did.
continue to fight.
And until you described the arms and the legs of the brain creature, I thought for sure you were using a psychic ooze.
No, actually, I was using a intellect devourer, but I did my own personal spin on the actual creature.
Because I have literally basically a gelatinous cube type ooze that is basically a human brain. And then the monster bird.
Yeah, I just never got a chance to open up the PDF and actually sit down and look at it with everything going on at work. Or else I probably would have just.
There's a lot there. But yeah, I'm enjoying it, and it's really awesome to play. I've really been needing some time to just relax and enjoy myself.
Yeah, I mean, the last time I actually played in a game, I think it was like a month and a half, 2 months ago. It was like a one shot that, or the half shot that Chris ended up doing.
Nice.
For her West March campaign.
I was gonna see about getting into that at one point, but I've just been so busy that I like get 1 hour a night to watch Netflix. The rest of the time I'm working.
Yeah, that must be crazy.
It is. It's in between 10 and 14 hours days right now between the PDF and I also am doing a freelance game design consultant project.
No, that's cool.
Yeah, only pays $1,000 and for 3 months worth of work.
Oh, that sucks. That's really, really, really bad.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing is I work my own schedule, my own hours. All it is I have to meet the deadline of having that goal done. Whether it takes me 10 hours or 500 hours. But between doing that and the Kickstarter or PDF, it just constantly work.
So, how's everybody else feeling about the session? Too much combat? Too little combat?
No, I actually really love it. Mix of a good mix of combat and RP.
The combat with the brain thing is, I love that.
Yeah, that was definitely interesting. It is a little bit more heavier on combat than I usually like, but it makes sense in the story. which is my main thing on combat. There has to be a reason behind it.
I legitimately thought the thing in the cage was one of those. Shoot, what are they called? The brains with the beaks and the tentacles.
Elder Brain.
Yeah, I thought it was
That's
one
what I
of
was
those.
thinking too.
Close.
And I'm like, oh, that's fine. Even if that gets out, I can kill that. But
Yeah. I was thinking he was using that psychic ooze until he explained the arms and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it was my own personal like little spin on it because I know it's not necessarily like statted out to be more manipulative or like more like I don't know, just the way I ended up portraying him. I know that it wasn't supposed to be like that, but I thought given the story, it kind of made a little bit more sense.
Oh yeah, totally.
But hey, everyone's back and we can continue on. Is there any time gaps? Because I'm not trying to keep anyone up past, any time that they have to go to bed. I know we got one new father who was an old father, but
I go to bed and I can't stay awake anymore.
I could probably swing it another hour and a half or so. I'm good.
I'm good.
I don't want to keep anyone, Understand. All right, so that gives us about 40 minutes to figure everything else out. Y'all might end up getting stuck in a dungeon. Yay.
Hey, cliffhanger for session 3.
4 months from now.
I mean, you know what? Based on how everything ends up going, I might just cut it even sooner than that. Just depending on how certain things end up going. Just because I know it's coming and I don't know if I want to like force it into 40 minutes. So
if you don't want to lead into it, if you got something bigger planned, then I say don't force it.
Yeah. I'll see how the role play and everything ends up going. All right, so let's get back in. So essentially, we are now splitting the party. Realistically, my personal 2 cents on the matter, you guys have to walk right by the entrance or like where you guys came in to bring your back. So I mean, you guys can all just stay together realistically as like an extra 20 or 30 feet of walking. So personal thoughts.
I was thinking they would actually start checking out this other passageway.
That's what I thought too. Me and Savvy kind of like peek our head in the first 5 feet of the doorway or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I just wasn't sure if like you only saw that there was only one option.
No.
All right, so then we're splitting the party. So then you guys time the door opening properly. So you're able to get not only all of you guys out, but this elven woman. So I'm assuming which group wants to go first?
I think Sappy and I will kind of start walking because I assume the doorway we want to go in is closer than the entrance to the cave. Walk over that door and kind of I'll look over at the other team. Just hurry back.
All right, awesome. So as you guys kind of reach this door, it's kind of been broken through. You can tell that there's holes in it. It's the structural, actual structural state of it is just completely and utterly shot.
I'll look at Sappy and kind of look at it and like give him the eyes and like, you first.
Of course. Should try the door.
You know, it's funny because I seriously would have thought that would have been the point where Fivin just jumped in. Okay, I can break through this one. But the door is locked. The actual like doorknob is locked.
It's locked.
All right. Well, take two, and I'll like wheel myself back to kick the door.
So you're actually gonna try kicking it again.
Okay.
Okay.
I rolled an 18. Not my strength.
That's incredible. All right, so you definitely make another hole in the door, and it the door hinges themselves like brakes. So like your foot goes through what makes a new hole as the door kind of falls off of your foot.
I'll kind of look and get really excited for a minute. See? Science, knowledge. I did it.
Honestly, I was not expecting that, but good job.
I kind of mutter under my breath, like, neither was I.
On the 7th morrow of Neverwinter, I was right.
Let it be known.
Just make a quick note in my little book.
All right, so then you guys end up going through this door, and it's a hallway that stretches out about 35 feet down and then turns.
Is it lit? Like torches again?
Yes, but they're very far scattered, so it's like one every 15, 20 feet. So there's only like the one in the center of the hallway.
Not as well lit as the other places. And could be a good sign.
Safi puts her hand out, and at the points of her fingertips, just a little bits of flame start to pop up, and eventually it engulfs her hand as she casts Produce Flame cantrip, just to kind of shed some light in the general, like in the nearby area.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Ooh, I might have to learn that. That's a handy one. You might have to teach me that one.
I'm sure you could pick it up rather quickly.
How far in should we go before they get back?
I don't know.
Let's be a little bit curious. I mean, let's go a little bit. Come on.
Sure thing. I will light your way. Would you like to go first, or you and Ty to go first?
You got the light. You go first.
She takes a couple of steps forward. Okay, then. Follow me closely.
So I will.
All right, so as you guys go, are you guys going all the way to the next bend?
I'm going to go down to the bin.
No, I'll follow.
Are you trying to do this like stealthily where you're not making any noise, or you're just kind of like walking?
We're not. I'd say I wasn't trying to be stealthy, but I'm walking slow enough where it probably wouldn't make that much of a noise.
Okay. The occasional like drip of water from the ceiling.
Yeah.
In the background. All right. So as you get to this next bend, there are three torches. It's another hallway, but it seems to be teed off. You have to go left or right. There are three torches, one on the two sides of the hallway, where you either have to go left or right, and one in the center on the wall.
Good. I look at the one in the center. I read a book once. About something like this. Oh, this would be so cool if this is true. I'll walk up and like pull it like a lever.
Hell, give me a roll. Let's roll with it. Eh.
What do I roll?
Oh. I'll think of something by the time you roll. Let's do investigation.
I was about to say I was trying to see if it works. I got a 10.
All right, so even with investigation, nothing.
Yep, even with my +6 proficiency in investigation.
I tried to give you a toss your bone. You pull it, and the like torch handle break the top of the torch breaks off, and you end up like whacking yourself in the head with fire. Don't catch, you just feel really hot.
Like, damn it, thought that would work.
That would have been very neat.
I guess
I
life
guess you
can't
can
be
call him a
stories.
hothead. Okay. Anyway, so we'll stop there for that. Let's go over to Jaren and Wobbles and Deo. So as you guys leave this cave, it's already nightfall. There's some rustling in the actual brush, but I guess nothing too extravagant for it being night on a random island that you've never been to.
Well, being pretty small, I think Robbles would kind of focus more on getting to the campsite, building up a fire for the women, and letting Deo actually move the lady.
Yeah, I figured. So, Wobbles, it's been a while since we last met.
Yeah, I've been meaning to speak with you. Oh, you've grown quite considerably. Why, now you're taller than me.
I think it's not that hard for anyone to be taller than you.
He chuckles, says, I don't know if you remember my husband, and you were so young.
I tried not to remember.
But yes, I know we fought a lot, and it got rather physical. Oh, but he was a good man once, and I found a way to resolve our differences. Is definitely not bringing up the fact that Bobbles actually killed him in self-defense. But maybe one day we can all be family again.
Maybe. But right now, I'm trying to search for answers to questions I've had for a while now.
Yes, I know. Oh, many things, including where you come from. Things I could never answer for you. Although I wish I could have. But anyway, we should make sure she'll be safe, and catch up to our companions.
All right, I'll set her in the tent, leave the note, the food, and I'll leave my dagger. That should give her something to defend herself with if anything comes out.
Rubbles nods and he'll start to walk back towards the cave, then look over his shoulder. Well, come along, lad. You always did like to follow in my footsteps. And he'll just kind of chuckle.
All right. You do know our recent companions don't really trust you that well. It's kind of hard to not blame them with what's going on.
Yes, as things deals were made that would have been better left unmade.
Well,
But I mean them no harm.
we should probably get back to them before they worry.
Yes, and it's definitely good to see you doing well for yourself.
As for you, I'm glad you're doing well as well.
And then I would assume we just kind of walk in silence till we got back to
Yeah.
others.
All right. So you guys are all back together. So now you guys are off at this T. So you can either go left or right. There are now 2.5 torches going. So which way are you guys going?
Robles would look over at the AO goes, I don't know, lad. Do you think you're strong enough to flip a marbles?
He gets chuckles.
I don't suppose there was any markings. I didn't see any.
They're not they markings, and the middle torch is not a lever.
Hmm.
I tried. As he looks down, depressingly at the half torch he's holding.
Now they're one of your books.
Shut.
Well, I suppose we could or we check them both at some point. But for now, why don't we go to the right? One direction seems as good as another.
To the right it is.
To the right. And I'll kind of like lead an arm out with the torch, like I'm leading the group. The half torch I'm holding.
Awesome. So as you get to the corner, so you get to the corner of the hallway, and there's only one way to go. You have to go left. As you go left, you begin to enter this room, and you begin to hear that walking noise that you heard earlier, as the walls themselves begin to be crawling with walking hands, like mummified hands. And they all crawl into the center of this room. You can tell that in the distance beyond this thing, there's some sort of box, chest of some sort off in the distance. As before you, these walking hands begin to form the shape of a living being, mummified in time. As you look, the neck begins to shape into the shape of a human head. Bandages wrapped all around this thing. You hear a loud yell as this thing starts running towards you. And that is where we will end tonight's session.
Oh, what a cliffhanger.
Well, I
We
think
kill
we found the treasure.
It's probably just a box.
Could always be a
We'll have
mimic.
to wait till session 3 to
Yeah, could always
find
be a
out.
minute.
Good,
That'd be the worst.
good spot to end it too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so does anyone want to do the whole outro thing? Anyone have an outro to do?
Nah, I think I'm good.
I think we should just leave with the cliffhanger. That's the best outro you could do.
Awesome. So this has been session 2 of Tiira, our homebrew campaign. Today's session has been quite the journey for our players, and we shall look forward to session 3 to find out what ends up happening. Thank you all, and have a wonderful rest of your night.